Spoiler warning. Yeah, that's all you get. I'm left speechless after the latest 3 episodes of the latest live-action Star Wars series, Andor. Yes, I'm talking about episodes 7, 8, and 9. I've said it many times. The way I look at the Empire has changed. For me, many decades, I have looked at Star Wars and the galaxy contained within its stories as a place to escape to, from real life, of course. But Andor has changed the way I look at the entire escapism of Star Wars. It has gone from a fun adventure with heroic Jedi and a minimal threat of Sith and the Empire to a dark and scary galaxy. Let me explain. It always seemed, while there was the galaxy's freedom that so many in the rebellion talked about, that the Empire being in control wasn't much different than any other system of their government, as far as the average being in the galaxy went. The Jedi and Sith were always just fighting each other and using a discrete amount of the populace as pawns. It was also a them problem, not me. The Empire always seemed like an extension of the battle between the Jedi and Sith that had just gone too far. Yeah, I know the Star Wars galaxy was still a dangerous place because of it, but it seemed like a lot of times the rebellion just wanted to put things back to the way they were before Palpatine. Let's face it, the living conditions for the average person weren't much better under the Republic, from what we were shown before Andor, that is. Under the prequel-era Republic, there was the threat of being enslaved or caught in the middle of a space mafia war. And if you lived farther away from Coruscant than the Mid-Rim, you were on your own. But now there is Andor, and it has changed all of that for me, and there are a lot of key factors as to why. I'll talk about one of them, or maybe two. You may think you know, but maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe I can enlighten you, or maybe bore you. We'll see. And a lot of the prequel-era diehards are going to hate me for saying this, but don't worry, I'm not putting down the prequels in any way. I like them too. Hey, look at your screen. See that little button that says subscribe? Move your little thumb to it and make contact with it. I'd really like to get this channel to 50,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without you. Yes, you are important to me, and you can see in the comments that I take you all seriously. I actually comment back as much as I can. So subscribe and consider joining the channel as a member. It really helps me make more content. I'm not just saying that, it really does. Okay, back to what I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself. Where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. How Andor has changed the way I look at Star Wars as escapism. Let's use some other references. Well, let's not. We'll leave the Harry Potter stuff and the Lord of the Rings stuff alone for now. This is a Star Wars channel, and we're all Star Wars fans. And it's okay to admit that. And a lot of us were into Star Wars before teenagers were wearing the merch without even watching it. But for us, it has always been a way to escape to a galaxy far, far away and see what they've been up to. In a way, visualizing what it would be like for us to be there. Now, yeah, I don't want to go there now. I'm no Jedi nor Sith. If anything, I'd be a Mandalorian. But now I think I will sit on the sidelines and watch everything play out, in fantasy, of course, as if I'm hovering above their galaxy and watching tiny little blips of light as explosions happen, thinking, damn, it would suck to be them. And Andor brought me to this conclusion. Don't you fret, my little pookies. I am getting to the prequel stuff I mentioned. And also, don't worry. I wouldn't just sit on the sidelines. I'd be joining in. Maybe. I don't know. I've never been put in the situation, so I can't say for sure. But I'd like to think I would. Andor brought one big change to the way we can view Star Wars. Let's go back to the prequel era now, and the Clone Wars by extension. It looked fun, didn't it? To fight against Count Dooku's separatists and take out a clanker or 2 or 50? Sure, there was always the threat of being unalived or injured, but the prequels made even that look ceremonious. And what kind of real threat were the battle droids anyway? I'm talking about the B-1s. You could whisper a fart at one of the B-1s and put it in its place. I'm not talking about the B2s or droidicas, of course. Now there are the droids of Andor, or originally shown in Rogue One, where the Empire is now an extermination force and not just an occupational regime. They now have murderous stormtroopers, and to back them up, KX droids, or Imperial security droids, if that's what you prefer to call them. In Rogue One, we saw K2SO. He was funny, yet dangerous, much like the battle droids of the prequels. Only big difference was you couldn't fart at a K2SO to remove him from the equation, but there was still that quirky personality. In Andor Season 1, we saw a KX droid hold Cassian Andor in place until the authorities could take him into custody. Okay, a security droid performing security. Cool. Still fun to see. Andor Season 2, Episode 8 comes out. We see 6 KX droids in a waiting room, and in that moment, I was literally terrified of them. Blank, emotionless, not making funny comments. And they weren't just measuring up Cyril Karn as a threat, they were measuring us. Breaking the fourth wall through the lens of the camera straight into our souls. Had the room been darker, this would have been a moment that nightmares are made of. I felt a chill run up my spine and decided I do not want to escape to Star Wars Galaxy anymore. Sure, seeing new planets, aliens, and the idea of hyperspace travel is appealing, but these droids are a symbol of how dangerous their galaxy really is. But that was just the initial response. They looked too human, sitting there slouched in their seats, yet still a little docile, almost harmless. Okay, as if that wouldn't be enough to make me wet myself if I were Cyril Karn, they got released into the general public. When we see them marching out from the ISB building, they approach with slow, methodical movements. Then, boom! One kicks a steel barrier and sends 2 protesters sailing as if they were made of paper. It was almost effortless. The droids then let loose their rampage, in no hurry to exact punishment on those who opposed the Empire, because they knew they would get to them eventually. And they did. Bodies soared through the air with such force that they cracked concrete walls, all the while not saying a word, not showing emotion, not cracking funny one-liners like a battle droid would. These monsters were unsettling, to say the least. There is no outsmarting them or talking your way out of their mission, and these droids represent the Empire. The people of Gorman represent the rest of the galaxy, pawns to be squashed under the cold metallic feet of the Empire. Okay, so Andor has changed the galactic civil war the way we see it, and these droids are just a piece of what the Empire is capable of. Planet killers, star destroyers, giant walkers that can carry massive amount of troops into battle, slowly. Can you imagine what the Clone Wars would have been like if either side had these droids? Sure, there were B2s and droidicas, but even they had funny moments. And I'm not just talking about the sheer strength of the KX droids. I'm talking about how they darken the atmosphere around them. The Clone Wars and the prequels would have been a grittier, darker era. Not that killing all the Jedi was light-sided comedy, but the droids within the era were comedy. I understand that technology changes things, and KX droids are far more technologically advanced than a B1 battle droid. So I'm not saying the exact KX droids would have been able to be used during the Clone Wars, but imagine if the Separatist army made up of B2s with the strength and lack of empathy like a KX. How much different would that war have been? Yeah, I know, cost effectiveness and all that stuff. Maybe I'll get into that in another video. The point is, Andor has made Star Wars a bit more realistic and much closer to the horrors we have had in our own history. Maybe I'd go to Peridia or something, ride in a space whale's mouth to and fro the grocery store to buy hot sauce for my nightly cookouts. But I don't know if I would ever want to be subjected to the Star Wars galaxy. Maybe I'd just hang out with the Tuskens on Tatooine. Seems like a simpler life than witnessing or being victim of genocide. Or maybe I would go to Yavin and join the rebels if I had Beskar armor. I don't know. We'd see. I've never been put in that situation, like I said before. Okay. All right. I got way off topic with this one. Let's wrap it up before I get too wild over here. I'm kind of a crazy guy tonight. The KX droids are a symbol of the Empire's might and resolve. They represent everything that is wrong with a fascist regime and reflect the inner emotions of Emperor Palpatine himself. No emotion, no regard for life, and so on. And it doesn't matter anymore if they are human or alien like we believed in the past. Andor has shown us that. So during the time of the Empire, 24 years or so, it wouldn't be a great galaxy to live in. But the rebels will fight on. The galaxy will see one threat after another, and the rebels will continue to stand up. Just watch out for those KX droids. Man, they punch really hard. Hey, don't go away yet. Hit the subscribe button. Your thumb is itching to press it. I can sense it through the Force. I really would like to take this channel to 50,000 subscribers. I'm not asking for 1,000,000 or even 100,000. I don't care to be the biggest Star Wars channel on YouTube. I'd just like to be able to create more content for you all. And slap that thumbs up like it's an unruly Jawa while you're at it. Also, I will be doing more live streams soon, especially for those who are channel members. So consider joining our channel as a member to watch me get hammered with bourbon and talk about Star Wars. May the Force be with you. Until it isn't, or you cut yourself off from it.